I like performance. It stays in the present moment. It makes you feel certain way, good and bad, both ways, of course. But mostly after the show, you get some satisfactory feeling. That's what makes me do it again and again.
कि कभी फुल धोती उड़कर पेड़ की टहनी पर जावे.
My understanding is that we just completed a year with this particular group of actors. So they came here last March, and they came here with the intention of receiving certain training in traditional theatre styles, as well as training to be part of this troupe.
The last show he would perfectly do it. Four when he took his line and then immediately after his line normally Ketan will do.
If I'm correcting, for example, because I'm not a theatre director and I've never acted, so the purpose of my work with the actors is to really use musicality as a lens to see how they can express certain things. So, because timing, phrasing, and rhythm are such a large part of performance art, for somebody who's studied music for a while, it's very easy to observe like an actor or a dancer or even like a stand up comedian or a juggler. What happens when? So, you see, the when is that big question.
So instead of that, in fact at this moment you miss because you now have a change azad. So you have something.
These issues of musicality are really important and they can affect every aspect of performance from the structure of the story itself to how we execute it on stage. And it's very challenging to work on those things. It takes hours and hours and hours and hours, and there are not enough people who work full days. So, this is one of the few places in the country where that happens in contemporary theatre. So, we have the luxury to approach those problems and correct them.
Space has a vibe. Like, anyone who comes here, whether they're an artist or they're not, they just feel it as soon as you enter the space. Every time Kumran says, who's also the director and the founder of the space, he says that there is blood and sweat of so many artists who've gone, and I genuinely believe in it. Look at these cracks. Sometimes you feel like, what are these cracks? But literally, people have worked here. You know it because we've seen each other work for so many hours with so much of sweat, so much of injuries.
It has given a lot of, creative opportunities as well as some mystical sensibilities also. This space has been one of the finest spaces where I could just sit down and think, prepare for a character, prepare with my dialogues and all. Also, the aesthetics are really beautiful. So yeah.
This is an old theatre, it's a heritage building. It's not air conditioned. A similar expectation is put on the audience. There's no comfortable seating, and it's very much we work with what we have. And only now we're kind of able to have some extra fans and have some better facilities.
This particular place gives you that vibe. It is so raw, so basic that it will remove all the other luxuries and all the other layers of your being just in order for you to bloom that particular part that is the most important to you and maybe as a being of the world.
currently the atmosphere is very much one of kind of apprehension. Like a lot of people are worried about working with forms nowadays because there's a lot of talk of cultural appropriation, and there's a lot of talk of having some kind of license to perform certain styles, which is a very new phenomenon for a lot of us. Of course, the country is divided not only along geographic lines but also along lines of caste. But at the same time, all of this material is kind of our collective heritage. Many of these forms are like criminally underexposed. That's one aspect. And the other aspect is that it's very powerful cultural material for us as young and intermediate artists. We need to access that cultural vocabulary. And there are a lot of kind of gatekeepers, people who are like, no, you should not appropriate, a style or a form of music from somewhere. And typically that's done by people who don't belong to those communities. And that can be quite problematic. That can be tough. Like it can be tough to have somebody sitting in a city telling you that you should not go to that village and take their music and use it in your performance. They would rather take those folk forms and put them in a museum. They would rather put them in a glass case and display them in proscenium stages in big cities and have their name on the poster as somebody who curated the event. But some of us like to get our hands dirty and go to those folk artists and learn their styles from them and then take it and subvert that form as well and turn it into something else as well. And of course, the point is to always credit the people with whom we learn from, and we always approach those people for training. It's not that we just steal stuff.
I think the process started 1 year ago when we joined Indianostrum Theatre. The first month we went through an intensive training of Therakuttu, the folk form of Tamil Nadu.
When I wore the costume for the first time, I understood why is it predominantly just men who perform this, because it's huge. Like it demands a lot of physical and mental strength, because you have like a 5 kg headgear on top, arm gears and all of that tied to your chest and completely. So it's a lot. It physically it demands a lot from you. So it was a transformative process completely to sort of gel into it. And still, like I think we just had a slight taste of it.
And we performed a play, The Tragedy of Abhimanyu, a 2 hour piece of Therakuttu, and we did around 30 shows.
And since then, they've been part of the theatre, staying in Pondicherry and receiving training in different forms. Apart from Therakuttu, they've received training in Kalari, which is a martial art, Lavani, which is a Marathi folk art, and other styles as well.
Actually, I feel that all the forms, if it is developed for the human society, is sharing the same philosophy. So, Kalaripayat and theatre is sharing the same philosophy. Kalaripayat and music is sharing the same. So, if it is same, it is for human being.
In an office job, you have to keep upgrading your technical knowledge and other things. If we are doing Kalari every morning, we go back, that doesn't mean that we have to stop our Kalari. There are levels, we have to keep doing it for our lifetime. And it's not just one thing that we'll be focusing on. And it's always less. You always have to work, and you always have work to do as an artist.
With theater music, it's all thematic. It doesn't have to be commercial, it doesn't have to be in a specific format. The feeling of not knowing anything about a play and then getting it to a state where you are performing it and there are people appreciating it is a very unique process for me. So that excites me a lot. There are no retakes. Here it's all matter of focus. You have to be on the spot, you have to be on time. So it's all about the mental state as well while performing, being in the current state and letting all your practice, letting all your preparation flow. That's it. My very first few shows, when I started doing theater music, I got scared a lot. But after a point, it got addictive. I'm very anxious when I have to go on the stage, but I know that I want to go on the stage.
My guru used to say where you have to do the adjustment, from there theatre starts. When I entered the city, the adjustment was from first second of my journey to Pondicherry. Because one thing, you don't know the language, the taste of the food is not similar what usually we have in our plate.
நம்ம ஊர் வில்லேஜ்னா தெரியும், நல்லா காரசாரமாக நம்ம ஊரில் கிடைக்கிறத வச்சு நல்லா அப்படி இதாக சாப்பிட்றோம். ஆனால் பட் இங்கே அப்படி கிடையாது. உப்பு இல்லாமல், காரம் இல்லாமல், ப்ரெட்டு, ஜாமு, முழுசாக சாண்ட்விச், பர்கர் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி முழு கலாச்சாரமே எனக்கு மாறிச்சு. நான் ஃபஸ்ட் டைம் பாண்டிச்சேரி வந்தப்போ எதை பார்த்தாலும் ஆன்னு பார்க்குற மாதிரி இருந்துச்சு. என்ன இப்படி பண்ணுறாங்க. அங்கே ரெஸ்பெக்ட்டுங்கிறது குழந்தைங்கிட்ட கூட வாங்க போங்கன்னு இருக்கும். இங்கே அப்படி கிடையாது. இங்கே எல்லாரையும் பேர் சொல்லி தான் கூப்பிடுவாங்க. வந்த ஒரு மாதத்துக்கு நான் அதுலேயே கொஞ்சம் கஷ்டப்பட்டேன். பாண்டி வந்தேன்.
I'm blessed that I came to Pondicherry because it's very diverse. Many times we only think that no, the people will be like this, that. It's nothing like that. You only judge yourself and you only judge people.
When I'm outside and I met some people, they help me a lot to grow. In theatre there is a different journey, and outside there is a different journey. We need different kind of people here and outside.
And here lots of foreigners used to come, mainly like French people. They used to come and they used to talk with us very kindly. They behave with us very genuine.
I cannot imagine going back to Delhi. It's so scary now for me. I'm so happy living in Pondicherry. Now I don't know how I will manage the crowd, the pollution, and the fast pace of it. And no sea. I love the sea.
But this feeling, this calmness, I didn't feel anywhere. Like now, after 7 years, now I feel like I want to stay here. And one of our senior artists call it a black hole, that once you come here you cannot escape. The city will keep on, even if you leave, the city will keep on pulling you back. But it's hot in summers. It's see. Yeah.
அது எந்த ஒரு கருத்தாக இருந்தாலும் சரி, அதை வந்து மக்கள்கிட்ட உடனடியாக எடுத்துகிட்டு போய் சேர்க்கறதுக்கு இந்த தேட்டருங்கிற வடிவம் வந்து ரொம்ப உதவியாக இருக்குது. We are not like cinema actors. Cinema actors, they'll get paid a lot, but theater artists are not. In olden days, theater is very famous. Like at that time, there is no television, but now everyone goes to cinemas. But still, there are some theater groups, theater practitioners. They are doing plays, they are doing dramas to engage in that.
Support by family, because it's a very unstable job to have as a theater artist. You don't get a lot of money out of it, and they want you to earn a decent living to support yourself. So it's not very much encouraged to do it.
நம்ம ராஜவீர மகசூர இங்க போரில் வச்சு காணலையோ, நீங்க சக்கரவிகத்தில் போகும்போது சூறா புயல் வந்துடுச்சா.
Like I have my relatives saying that, okay, do you do theatre as a hobby? How can you have it as a profession? Who needs it? This is what we generally hear sometimes, but I feel like art in general is important. I'll have all the comforts in life, or I'll have all the essential things, but that's just surviving. To live, you need to experience, and art helps you with that. So I feel it's extremely important. And there are people who come after the show and say that we had chills, and we experienced something moved. So that's when you understand that it is important, because people who are extremely busy in their lives doing like things, they get a moment to feel something, and that's when you feel that okay, there is something.
Watch more shows at the theatre, watch more shows at all theatres, and we hope you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for
Good work.
This is just practicing what you love to do every single day with a lot of love, care, and so much of hard work. Each of us, everyone outside, and everyone there's Kumar here, all of these people, the amount of hard work that they have done and what we've been doing is something that this space generates.
We practice it right now is Nisha. So you see this one, these black keys, you see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a set of black keys, no? So we practice the second black key.
Why do you think Indianostrum is an important place?
Because I would say because whoever is part of Indianostrum will be like always part of Indianostrum. And it's not a space, it's a community.
Yeah, all of us were from different places, different backgrounds, just dropped here and asked to learn a whole different form that 90% of us never heard the form or seen it being performed. Yeah, we spend a lot of time together, from early in the morning till late at night. So we find ways to entertain each other and keep that energy going even when things are not very fun all the time. It's a lovely place and a beautiful bunch of people, I'd say.